It feels just like it was yesterday. We were in love, was it falling apart? I've never been one to walk away, but I've had enough, and it's breaking my heart. Cause you love me just the way that you should. It's nothing that you do, no, it's nothing you say. Yeah, baby, I know that you're good, but I don't want a good girl, no, not today. Cause I want it bad, I want a bad girl, baby, bad. I want a love that's crazy, yeah. I want a bad girl, baby, bad. I want it bad.
What's up, guys? Chubsky here. I'm sure you'll enjoy hearing my voice for the first time ever, probably for most of you. I'm going to make a video about logs, mostly. Kind of the start, something we're looking to do to try and help people who are getting better, who want to get better, who have no idea how to get better, and ask me a bunch of fucking questions and I don't want to answer them. So hopefully videos will be able to answer a couple more questions. So, in light of the first video, I made a nice little graphic here. Chubsy's Corner. Woo! And, yeah, something stupid, and, yeah, it's pretty much as good as you're going to get from me. So now we're going to talk about some logs. Got these logs. Got some nice chopped logs. Got some nice, whatever the hell this is, Slater logs. But mostly we're going to focus on Warcraft logs. So, a lot of people have an issue where they kind of want to get better, they don't know what to do, they go to the MMO forums, and they bitch about how they suck, and they need, you know, fix my DPS. What am I doing wrong? Help me. I don't know what I'm doing. What trinket should I use? I'm absolutely garbage. I need weak ores. I need to help my other boom chickens. They don't even come in and ask for help themselves. Then you open up their logs and they're doing like, you know, like 100k DPS on like Trillax. Like how it's heroic. I don't even know how they killed the boss. They had 3 boomkins all doing like 150k DPS. So you say, okay, well they gotta do this and this and this. You tell them a million things and it's like, well, you can tell them that once, but how do you figure it out for yourself? How do you go to logs and say, this is exactly what I need to do, compare yourself to other people? So I'm going to kind of walk through the process of what I do when I compare myself. So first thing, we're just going to start fresh copy, search Chubsky, pull Chubsky up right here. And obviously, I'm not going to do too much of a brief overview of what logs are, because everybody uses them. You should know by now what they do. But this is your own personal little page. This is my hero kills, and we're going to look at cooldown kills. And obviously, I have a bunch of variants. 893, I was doing 500k, and this is basically learning the fight. You learn the fight, you get better gear, you do better DPS, and it depends a lot on people in your group, amount of ads time, how often ads are up, stuff like that. So we're gonna pull this up. This was our kill for Gul'dan, or Gul'dan, however the fuck you say it. And so this is our Gul'dan kill, and then obviously the one thing people look at all times, they look at how much damage did I do, where did I rank? And so the one mistake a lot of people make is they'll look at this percentage and they'll think, look, I did 87th percentile, or I was 80th percentile, and they'll feel like, maybe I should have been higher, or they'll look and be like, oh, I was like 31st percentile, I'm absolutely fucking garbage. When in reality, you should never look at this. Never look at the rank percentage over here. Always look at this percentage. This is the percentage that really matters, because this is what's comparing you to people who are your eye level. So it's not comparing you to people who are like 920,000 fucking eye level and are doing a million DPS killing the boss in 2 seconds. So this is really what you want to look at, is this percentage here. And if you see a high percentage, 95 is good, 85, pretty much anything above 75, anything in the purple area is what you're looking for to say, hey, that was like a really good pull. So you look here and you say, well, I did 610k here. And now what do? How do I get better? There's always room for improvement. Everybody can improve. I can improve. I suck dick half the time. So, like, what do I have to do? What do I look at? Do I just look at the damage? Look, I did damage. How the fuck am I supposed to learn from this? So, I'm going to walk through my process of what I do. And there's basically two things you can look for. You can either compare against yourself, the previous time you killed the boss, or you can compare against other people. So, the first thing we'll do is we'll pull up a comparison of me against myself. So, I'm going to open up another page here. Search myself again. Just because I'm egotistical like that. Pull my page up, go to Gul'dan, and I actually killed Gul'dan and got a 700k parse. Really good. One of my best parses. And this was before we killed it. And I look here, I look at my ranking, 99 percentile. It's a lot better than the 95 I had on whatever, this page, if I can find it. That's fucking not it. 95. So 95, 99. Well, I did 84k more DPS. And my eye level was one different. One eye level doesn't equal 85 fucking K DPS. I'm sorry to tell you. So what did I do wrong? What did I do worse this pull than I did this pull? Or was it something that was out of my control? So one of the really useful tools, if you're going to compare against yourself, is the compare tool. The first thing you're going to do is up here, where my mouse is, you're going to highlight from the dash to the number sign. So you're going to highlight this area. And you're just going to copy it, just like this. Then you're going to go to your other log of our kill. This one's our kill. And you want to double check, make sure, okay, the kill times were about the same. Our kill was actually shorter, 10:39. This kill was 11:06. Okay, we're good there. I'm going to go compare reports. Compare with URL, put in the URL, paste it, and hit OK. And now it's going to pull up a comparison of the two fights. So you can see here, this is our guild, something stupid. Stupid name. And then we have to have our damage here. We have the damage here of the other people. So you compare, you look across, you're like, okay, it's about the same type of damage. We have almost the exact same amount of people. The eye level for the pug group is a little higher, but you know, it's pretty close. So this is a good comparison. If you're comparing yourself to someone who has like 900 buttfuck eye level and they killed the boss in like 7 minutes, there's no comparison to make. You can't make a judgment off of that. So those are logs you don't want to look at. So that's the couple of the things you really want to look out for, is the time of the fight, around the average DPS and stuff like that. All good things to look out for. Now I want to isolate basically myself, because I don't care about these other people and I don't care about you guys. So I want to figure out what I'm doing myself. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to friendlies, hit Chubsky, and this blue one is for our fight only. So I have to go back in again, hit Chubsky again for the other fight, and now I'm comparing myself against myself. Sometimes the stats will be different. For example, this one probably tracked me when I pre-potted with my prolonged potion, so my stats are a little inflated compared to what they are here. So don't be like anything worried about that. Gear's pretty much the same. I'd had like one relic better. I got a new relic that day. So the thing I look for first is my damage done. So I'm looking at my cast and I want to see around some kind of things I could take away from it. So the first thing I notice is that I had about the same cast as Starfall, but my Starfall on the fight where I had better damage, where I had 70 million more, did 10 million more damage. And my Starfall had 3 less cast to Starfall, but I did 8 million more damage. Same thing with Sunfire, I had a lot more cast to Star Surge, so overall I had more casts. So that's one thing. It could be due to the time of the fight, but the main thing that means is that, especially in my case where I'm looking at Starfall, things I cast on ads and I only cast on ads, then what my main thing is that the ads probably were up a little longer in this fight. And I mean this fight here, the purple fight where I did higher DPS. So that's one thing you can sort of extrapolate from it. The next thing you want to look at is, did I have good luck? I have the trinket, and I had it on both fights, the Whispers in the Dark trinket, where it can proc and you do a butt fucking damage, and sometimes it doesn't proc in a fight, sometimes it procs. So you go to the buffs, and then the one thing I check on buffs is I say, okay, and I want to look at this Nefarious Pact. Well, I had 7 procs in this fight. I had 7 procs in this fight. I had 4 of my, this is my big buff here, Celestial Alignment. I had 4 in this fight. I had 4 in this fight. So overall, the luck was pretty much the same. Actually, in fact, I was luckier on the kill I did less DPS, because I had 5 of these Alkin Frenzies, and I only had 2 in this encounter, so I was actually luckier. Another thing I noticed when I look at this page is that one thing I do notice is that my Lunar Empowerment when I cast Star Surge is at 32 in this count. On this one, it's at 21, so I definitely Star Surged a lot more in this fight, which means that the boss was probably up for longer, a little bit longer than typical. Or it could also mean that the ads were up for longer, that you got the big fucking guy that falls from the sky and does the purple shit. So he was probably up for longer. I was probably casting more Star Surges than I normally do. So a couple things. Overall, the luck, I was actually a little luckier on the thing I did less damage on. So, okay, where am I making the difference? Now I'm going to go to damage done, and I'm going to filter it, because I want to see, okay, how much damage did I do to Gul'dan on each fight? So I do click Gul'dan for the one fight, Gul'dan for the other fight, same as I did with myself. And then I go in here and I say, okay, well, holy fuck, I Star Surged a butt fuck more. So, okay, that's one thing to take note of. I did 40 million more on Gul'dan. So maybe I should be Star Surging more on Gul'dan. Maybe when the ads are about to die, I'm Star Falling in the fight I did less damage, but I'm Star Surging on the fight that I did more damage. So maybe I should, instead of Star Falling when the eyes are about to die, which doesn't do much damage, maybe I should be Star Surging more like I did in this one. So some like small conjectures you can take away. And now, okay, so that's for Gul'dan damage. Now I want to check the next thing, is the Empowered Eyes. Okay, how much did I do to Empowered Eyes for each one? So you look at the Empowered Eyes for this one, and again, I did about 8 million more damage to the eyes. So the eyes are probably up for a little longer, and I probably did more damage that way. And then I have, let's see, Star Surges here, 7, 8, about the same amount of Star Surges, so nothing too major there. And the next thing I'm going to look at for myself is the Eyes of Gul'dan. So this is the regular eyes that are in the second phase that spawn, that you do a lot more damage to. And I mean, here I did almost double the DPS. So basically I was carrying this fucking group because I can't kill eyes. But you guys kill eyes a little better. So that's definitely something to take into consideration. It also could be a thing where I could go through my cast. I won't do it now. But I can go through my cast or my buffs and track when I had my Nefarious Pact buff. See, because if I had my Nefarious Pact buff at a time where the eyes spawned, I'm going to do a buttfuck more damage to the eyes. So that's another thing taken into consideration. And these are just small extrapolations. So that's how I'm doing compared to myself. Now let's see how I can do compared to people who are sort of like me. So for this one, I'm going to take the one where I did more damage. So this one here, the 694 one I did in the pug, I'm going to keep. I don't remember if I copied it still or not, so I'm going to copy this again. Now, the important thing to do is when you're finding someone who is around your skill or eye level or whatever, you look at your eye level here, 898, and you want to look at your timer for the fight. So my timer was 1106. So 1106 and 898 eye level, and then I'm going to go here. I'm going to actually type this up here so I don't forget. 1106, 890 eye level, 898. If I could type. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to go Nighthold, I'm going to go up here, and this is where you want to filter it. You filter it to Heroic, and then you go to all classes. I go to Druid, I go to Balance. So this is filtering it to all Balanced Druids. Now this is fucking useless. This is useless information on this slide right here. Because these are all people who have like 900, a bajillion eye level, and killed the boss like before it spawned or some shit like that. So, I mean, it's not really something you can go off of when you're looking at this. It feels great to get like a #1 parse or a top 20 parse or whatever, but it's unrealistic because of the kill times. Let's say my kill time for Gul'dan, whatever we just said, was 1106. The top kill time is 737. I'm never going to do as much DPS as this fucking guy. Never. I'm never in a lifetime going to do as much DPS as him because of the fight time. So it's not a fair comparison to that. So what do? How do I find all these people now? Am I going to go down here to like Gul'dan and click it and then like filter through about 100,000 pages of people who have Gul'dan until I, you know, find someone sort of like me? No, that's retarded. But I will show you a way to do it. So you're going to go back here to this main page. You have your filtered for Heroic, filtered for your class, and then you're going to go here. click on this search button. Now, you can basically optimize yourself for whatever you want. So for this, I'm going to do item level. My item level was 898. So I'm going to do 897 to 899. And you can do whatever you want. Just try to find somebody near your eye level that is like close to you. If you want to do people who are lower than you, that's fine as well. Maybe somebody lower than you is doing more DPS than you. That's perfectly fine. I typically do somewhere within 1 or 2 eye level of myself. Now, you can do raid size. Doesn't really matter too much. The big ones are item level and fight length. So you go to fight length here. My fight was whatever, 11 minutes and 6 seconds. So that's 666 seconds. So I'm going to, instead of 666, I'm going to do 650 to, let's say, 675. Just give yourself a range. Maybe I'll do 680. Give yourself a range where you can find people. Nobody's going to have the exact time as you most of the time. And then you want to go down here. You want to filter for your class. So I filter that. I only want to check balanced druids in this. I don't want to check other people. They don't matter to me. Then you hit search. It generates a search. You see it up here, up top. It says your item level you're searching for is this. Fight length they're searching for is 650 to 680 seconds. Then you can double check here. 1104, 1108, 1113. These are all fight times that match what you're looking for. And then your spec is here. So I go here and then I look for people of my eye level. And then people who are in the same fight time as me. I happen to be really fucking good at the game, in case you guys haven't noticed. So when I do this, I often filter to myself sometimes. So like right here, for instance, for the Gul'dan kill, I am 3rd for this specific time frame and this specific eye level, which is important. If you see yourself on this list, you're doing a really good fucking job. I'll tell you that right now, because it's really hard to make one of these lists. So I want to compare myself to somebody else. But this is kind of where it gets a little bit fishy if you're on the top list, because I look at these people and I see, oh, look, he's got the motherfucking ring, and this guy's got the motherfucking ring. But I'll compare myself to him anyway. This one's in Korean. It's a little annoying if you look at the Korean ones because... fuck that up. Because it's actually in Korean, and all the spell names are in Korean. So I don't really suggest that you look to it, because then you're like, it's annoying. You look at the whatever, the damage done, and then you filter it towards that specific druid. Whatever his name is. Here we go. And then all the shit's like in fucking Korean, and I can't read it. So I'm not doing that. That's annoying as fuck. So instead I'll pick the other guy who's above me. Once I go back here for a couple minutes here, and I'm going to switch the song to something that's not terrible. We're going to hit some 21 Pilots, because I went over the time I allotted for myself, but that's fine. So, Nature. It's a terrible name for a druid, but whatever. So, I'm going to do the exact same thing I did before. I already have it saved. I'm going to go to Compare, if I can find it. Compare Reports. Compare with URL. I'm going to paste in the URL that I copied before from the Gul'dan fight, and I'm going to compare it. And then around the same time, we're around the same eye level. I know it's all kosher. The eye level for my raid was a little higher, but that's only makes it better because he beat me, you know, so what the fuck. Then I'm going to filter Nature, so Nature for him, and then I'm going to filter myself. And now some things I'll look at, he's got 54, I got 52, that's fine, whatever. 1% DPS, maybe that'll count for it, maybe it won't later. His Starfall damage is like way fucking higher, and his Star Surge damage. So I'm going to scroll up here. I'm going to go to damage done, and I want to look at the same things that I looked at before. I want to look at the eyes, and I want to look at the eyes. So I look at the eyes. He did a lot more damage than me, and then I look at some things kind of in particular that we do differently. So for example, all he does is cast Starfall and Sunfire. He casts a Lunar Strike once. Yeah, once. I casted all these other spells on the eyes. Is that like a waste of resources? Am I not casting Full Moon? I know for a fact one time I cast Full Moon and then the eye died and it did 0 damage and I lost a Full Moon. Something I can work on. I'm casting, so why am I casting Star Surge on the fucking eyes? I should not be doing that. So that's already something I can take away from this. So go down, go down, go down. I'm going to go over to Cast. Cast is really useful. Ignore the Stellar Drift. That doesn't matter too much. It just depends if you're in the Starfall. But so I'm looking at Cast here. And his uptime on the boss is like a lot higher than mine. I can guarantee it. because he has 34 more solar rats than I do. He has 88 Star Surges, I got 80. So basically every metric he's beating me on. It's because I Moonfire more because I have the Legendary Shoulders. So it's useful extrapolation there. He's Starfall 10 times more than I did. 10 times more than I did. His uptime on Starfall is 4.5% more than me. So that's something I definitely have to work on. I can't lose to this fucking idiot. Like, I'm better than him. So I need to keep my Starfall uptime more with the ads are up. Make sure I'm filtering my Astral Power so I have enough Astral Power. Something I can learn. So that's another like useful thing you can do here. And then another thing you can do is look at cast. This is something that I've been using with a lot of people, where you can look at a timeline. So it's going to lag a little bit. It always lags. Don't freak out if you do this and it fucking like lags your computer. And I'm going to pick a new song now that this is dying. Okay. So it's lagging a little bit. Maybe it'll load eventually, sometime in the next like century. Load! Anyway, so this cast page basically is a timeline. Of course, it's going to be a dick about it. Nope, there we go. So it's a timeline basically of what you're casting when you're casting it. So something I noticed with this is that he is actually incarnating on Gul'dan at the start. And then he dilates well before the Inquisitor comes out. Because I know for a fact I'm dilating on the Inquisitor, which is right here. So maybe that boosts his DPS more? I doubt it. Like, I don't know why he's doing that. But it's something different. Something I can actually think about. Because I just fucking Star Wrath, Solar Wrath, and then try to get enough AP for my Starfalls. He uses his Celestial. Maybe because he has the ring. Maybe that's why he does it. And then he pulls everything into Gul'dan, Star Surges, weaves into Gul'dan while I'm building up for the ads. So that's something useful to think of. Maybe that's something different. Then I keep my Sunfires up. And then you can also like check your timeline of like when he's casting certain things. So maybe if I just want to look at the Celestial alignments. When is he casting Celestial alignment and when am I casting it? Well, he cast it at the beginning. I cast it here. He cast it around the about 3:30 minute mark, and the mark there. So maybe it is because the ring is why he's doing it, but I'm not 100% sure. But he did more damage than me, so he's got to be doing something, right? Maybe that's something I could take away from it, or maybe it's just something that is, you know, extraneous. Maybe it doesn't mean anything. But, you know, this will help me figure it out, help me get better at what I want to be better at. So then we come over here, and I think everything here is pretty much fitting out to how I see it. Because he's keeping his Starfall up, I'm keeping my Starfall up, I'm not letting stacks drop on my Star Surge when I'm doing the single target. Then we move into the part where it's only Gul'dan up. This is where, you know, back to phase 2, and it's only, I believe, Gul'dan. Yep, this is only Gul'dan. So he's just like plowing the fucking dude with Solar Wraths. Yeah, just going like that. So, I mean, it's definitely like a different way to look at it. But he's definitely digging into him with Solar Wraths. So maybe I do that. Maybe he does the Solar Wraths and he pulls up the Starfall. So he has 2 Starfalls for the ads. Maybe that's why he's doing more damage that way. But anyway, just an example of these are all types of things that you can look for. And that's kind of how you can find people who are on your level, gear-wise, kill time-wise. And how you can figure out, you know, what are they doing that I'm not doing? Or what is he doing different? Is he right? Is he right to be using his cooldown at the beginning on Gul'dan? Does it last over into the first ad maybe and do more damage that way? Or is he wrong? And then I figure it out that way. I look at other people. Maybe I'll go back and look at the person under me and say, hey, like, what is he doing? Does he pop his cooldown on Gul'dan? Does he have the, you know, the specific legendary that helps out with that? And how I can improve myself. So anyway, it went a little long. I want to keep it under, you know, 10 minutes. It's probably going on 20 minutes now, but I think that's a good intro tutorial of logs, how you can find people who are like you, things you can look for. You want to look for the cast, damage done on ads, stuff like this. And maybe, you know, as people are trying to sort of better themselves, that they can, I don't know, maybe look over the video, go back on some things, think of ways that you can improve. Because it's all about you taking the initiative, I should say, to improve yourself. Because if you come in here and you don't know what you're looking at, you just say, Chupsky, this is just fucking, I don't know what I'm looking at. all I see is damage numbers, and then I'm in, like, you know, the bottom of the barrel when it comes to actual rankings. I would say, you know, don't worry about the rankings. Worry about finding people who are better than you. And they are out there. There are people better than me out there. Everybody, you know, there's always somebody out there who's better than you, who knows more than you. So find those people. Find people that are consistently beating you. Like, beating you on every fight. You look at their logs in every single fight they're beating you. And you look at them and say, what are they doing that I'm not doing? How can I maybe get more cast in? How can I... maybe my uptime is not as high as their uptime is and stuff like this. All these things you can look for to try to better yourself. So I guess I will end the video there. Kind of little, you know, intro into logs. If we want to go into the future and, you know, people ask me, hey, can you do a video on my log specifically? Can you look at my things? Maybe I'll end up doing that. But I just want to give you guys an introduction to it. And, you know, I get a lot of questions about logs all the time. And hopefully this will help, you know, quell some of those concerns. So if you watch all the way to the end, thanks for watching. Just, you know, trying to help you guys out. And if you have any questions, hit me up. All right, well, that's all. Da-da-da, da-da-da, Chelsea's Corner.